national anthem sung by the vocal ensemble.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Mr. James P. Dolly, Jr., Dover Selectman, to offer greetings to the class of 2014. Mr. Dolly.
Good evening. On behalf of the town of Dover, I would like to congratulate the 2014 graduating class of the Dover-Sherborn Regional High School, along with my thanks to the administration and faculty for continuing to lead our youth as they, to quote the region's mission, discover and pursue their full potential. Superintendent Bliss, Headmaster Smith, graduates, thank you for inviting me. This is my third year with the honor of representing Dover at graduation. I have said and truly believe this is one of the better events a selectman can be part of. Of all the issues and meetings the board is involved in, there are none, except for this, where everyone is happy and smiling. I would like to acknowledge the seamless transition of leadership, including Superintendent Bliss and Headmaster Smith. Their leadership and dedication to the learning experience should be commended and appreciated. In fact, the DS High School continues its excellence and is once again ranked as one of the Massachusetts' best in the annual ranking of high schools. But I am cognizant of the fact that it's the students' outstanding performance that ultimately decides these accolades. I do wish all of the graduates the very best going forward, and you should take an opportunity to thank your fellow classmates, your teachers and administrators, but more importantly, your families for their support. As you probably have heard, the passage of time comes and goes very quickly. And when it's all done and said, you may never regret not passing one more test, or getting into a more sought-after college, or finally landing that big job. But you will regret time not spent with a parent, a sibling, a relative, or a dear friend. Again, congratulations and thank you very much.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Peter Caruso, Sherborn Selectman, who will also offer greetings to the class of 2014.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here on behalf of my fellow selectmen and the residents of Sherborn. I congratulate each of you for your remarkable achievement of becoming graduates of Dover-Sherborn High School. I also congratulate your parents, guardians, and families for helping you get to this stage of your lives. Likewise, kudos to the Dover faculty and administration for doing what they do so well on your behalf. Like all the residents of Sherborn, including those who have been a part of your lives growing up, such as religious instructors, scouting leaders, coaches, neighbors, friends, and no doubt others, we are all extremely proud of you. I have no doubt you all worked very hard to get to this point as you took advantage of the academic excellence so many have dedicated their careers to provide to you. I also know a lot of you have enjoyed the opportunity of the many extracurricular activities offered here at Dover-Sherborn, whether it was on the field, on the stage, in the lab, or elsewhere. And I expect many of you have made some lifelong friends, all because of the wonderful times and experiences you have had here on this campus. Like our friends in Dover, the residents of Sherborn place a high priority on making sure each of you have been provided one of the best learning environments possible. In fact, what you have been able to experience here at Dover-Sherborn is one of Sherborn's most important core values that all residents take great pride in. We know you will be the world's future leaders. As a parent who has had the good fortune of having 3 children graduate from Dover-Sherborn with 1 more to go, I can tell you with certainty that you are very well prepared to go out in the world and face the many opportunities and challenges in your continuing education, in the workforce, in service to your country and other causes, in the family lives you may build, and in the roles you will play as citizens in your own communities. Your futures are very bright, and as a result, so is the future for all of us. Now, I wanted to use some sort of metaphor for this special occasion. As you know, Sherborn is rural and big on farming, so I considered something like talking about all that goes into harvesting a good crop, like planting seeds, nurturing their growth, protecting from pests and the like. I know for sure you're a great crop, but that wasn't resonating with me. Then I considered sailing, talking about a well-found vessel, safely steering a steady course through life, heading off into the sunset, et cetera, et cetera. But that also wasn't going to work for me today. I even thought about contacting former Selectman Jim Murphy, who spoke at my second daughter's graduation 9 years ago, and he talked about ripples in a pond from throwing a stone. But probably doing something like repeating someone else's speech would be something you wouldn't have done when you wrote papers or when you were in school. So I decided not to do that. I finally figured out where I wanted to go metaphorically. Earlier, I started out by saying congratulations and how proud the town and all who know you are. In fact, I noticed the word congratulations right behind me. You will hear those 2 words a lot today in the days to come, congratulations and pride, rightly so. In fact, if you look out from this vantage point, you see all the smiles, you see the gleam in everybody's eyes. There's the loved ones and your friends and neighbors, they're so proud of you today. It's pretty cool to see from up here. But I have another word I want to use today, which in a metaphorical way may best describe you. Each of you is like a Ferrari, okay? So when you come back 25 years from now to your reunion and you think, well, remember when that cool, handsome dude from Sherborn said we were Ferraris? Well, let me tell you why. You're special, you're unique, you're state-of-the-art. You're one of the best the world can produce. There are very few on the road of life as well crafted and as well equipped as you are. When a Ferrari comes off the production line, just like the workers who hand-stitch the seats standing there viewing the car, your sporting and other activity coaches can feel proud and congratulate themselves for the role they played in getting you to this point in your lives. Or like the folks who carefully painted the car, your scouting, religious, or other leaders in your development can feel proud and congratulate themselves for the impact they have had on who you have become. And like the specialists who built the engine at the heart of each car, your teachers over the years can puff up their chests with pride, congratulate themselves, and confidently say, I helped build that fine young adult. Lastly, and of course like Enzo Ferrari himself, viewing one of his masterpieces, your parents, guardians, and family members can look at you with great pride and must be congratulated for an incredible job very well done. So as you Dover-Sherborn Ferraris travel down the road of life, although you may hit some speed bumps, you should take much comfort knowing you are very well equipped to travel far and travel well. Drive smart, drive safely, go where you want to go, and enjoy the ride. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dowling and Mr. Caruso. I would now ask Abigail Marie Raftery, the president of the class of 2014, to please come forward and present our welcome greeting.
Welcome, friends, families, teachers, and classmates of the class of 2014. It is an honor to speak to all of you today. First of all, I would like to thank and give a huge round of applause to our new headmaster, Mr. Smith, who has had an outstanding year. In his first year alone, he has made himself a great presence on campus. He supports each and every one of us students and has put his own time in to make the jump from a good headmaster to a great one. He has already made many great changes to improve our school, and I can't imagine what he will accomplish in the years to come. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for helping to make the seniors' last year here such an enjoyable one. I would also like to give a huge round of applause to Ms. Sullivan for her incredible job as class advisor. She single-handedly has helped us organize all of our class events and has made our 4 years here at DS such amazing ones. We could not ask for more from her, and I do not think it would be possible to find a class advisor who is as dedicated and loving as Ms. Sullivan has been to our class. I've known Ms. Sullivan since 7th grade, and without her, I don't know how I would have gotten through high school. She's been there for me through thick and thin. So Ms. Sullivan, on behalf of our class, I thank you for the hundreds of things you have done for us. Along with Ms. Sullivan, thank you to my fellow class officers, Daniel and Evan Wood and Jake Frankenfield. It's been a great 4 years working alongside all of you. To the rest of the Dover-Sherborn staff, I thank you for making our high school such a great place. All of my teachers here at Dover-Sherborn have been amazing, and I couldn't have made it to where I am without all of you. We students also owe an immense thank you to all of our parents and guardians. It is thanks to you that we have been privileged to receive an education at Dover-Sherborn, and it is thanks to you, the support from all of you, that we have become the people we are. Through all the challenging tasks I've had as class president, saying goodbye might be the most difficult. It feels like just yesterday I was standing in front of my classmates trying to convince them to vote for me for president, and now here I am completing my final presidential task. Our 4 years here at Dover-Sherborn are already coming to an end. A little over 13 years ago, I was 5, and I remember my first day of school. I was excited standing at the bus stop with my new snow white lunchbox. My parents were there with their camera, snapping pictures and wishing me well. Now, here I am today on my last day at Dover-Sherborn High School. Okay, so I didn't bring my snow white lunchbox, but my parents are here with their camera, snapping pictures and wishing me well, just like they did 13 years ago. Most of the friends I made in elementary school are now sitting behind me at school with me for the last time. Some of us have gone through elementary school together, then middle school, and now high school. Some of us have been to Canobie Lake Park and Washington, D.C., and even Europe together. We've all ditched our snow white lunchboxes and moved on to brown paper bags. We've grown from the little kids with big backpacks to big kids with little backpacks. We've cheered for one another throughout countless awards and championships, as well as plays and performances. We've listened to each other both laugh and cry. We've stood by one another's side as we had our 5th and 8th grade graduation, and now here we are standing by each other's side as we are graduating from 12th. Goodbyes are always bittersweet. It's sad to walk down the hallways for the last time as a student, to say goodbye to the school in which we have matured in and made lifelong friends. Yet, it's exciting because it means that we are starting a new chapter of our lives. We are one step closer to making a life of our own, to deciding who we want to be and what we want to do with our life. I, for one, have no idea what I want to do with my life. I have no idea what I'll major in or what job I'll have in 10 years. But what I do know is I'll still have my friends from Dover-Sherborn. I will still have everything Dover-Sherborn taught me, and for that, I know that in 10 years, I will be grateful. We will all move on from high school as we enter a new chapter of our lives, but DS will always remain with us. The memories of going to Sky Zone as a class, playing categories in Latin, and buying class of swag pennies thinking they were cool will still make me laugh. I'll still smile as I remember my senior field hockey season, the boys lacrosse team winning back-to-back state championships, which we hope to add to, and my friends doing an amazing job in Hello Dolly. I'll still think of Mr. Potts every time I find the extraordinary in the ordinary, or think of Mr. Bork every time I hear news about drones. We won't forget high school, but instead we will take it with us into our new experiences because our class has been unforgettable. Even if you weren't too fond of high school, you'll take it with you because maybe you will just miss seeing the familiar faces of your classmates almost every day. Maybe you'll miss losing debates to Max, since everyone does, or seeing Julia healing her way down the hallways. We all have our own memories we will miss because Dover-Sherborn has been a place that is so much more than just rigorous courses. It has been a place where one learns what teamwork and dedication is, a place with unforgettable teachers and students, and most of all, a place where we have met some of our best friends. I don't know what is ahead for all of us. I would love to stand in front of all of you and tell you how our class is destined for greatness, every one of us. But really, who knows? Who knows what we'll become and what we'll do? All I can say is that every one of us has the opportunity to be great. Every one of us has the capability to achieve our dreams, to change the world, or maybe just change one person's world, because both are equally great. We can only do these things if we don't get caught up in what others think is best for us, or what path will lead to the most financial success. If we live a life always setting goals and trying to fulfill them, we will miss out on really living. Because ultimately, our lives are made up of moments, so we should not miss them by being lost in the past or trying to anticipate the future, because only the present exists. Remember that we are young, we have our whole life ahead of us. So here's some advice for my classmates. Chase your dreams, do what you want to do, make mistakes and learn from them, and then go ahead and make some more, because we have support systems and we have the time to do it. Yet, on the other hand, our time is limited, so don't settle for something you like, find something you love. Don't put your dreams on hold or spend your time living someone else's life. Stand up for what you believe in because what you think does matter. As we leave the bubble of Dover-Sherborn, we must remember to keep our minds and our hearts open. We must also remember to give back because not everyone is as fortunate as we are. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, everybody can be great because greatness is determined by service. So let's all be great. Let's all remember that in order to be happy, we must have people to share our happiness with. As we enter new chapters of our life and make new friends and mentors, let's carry with us the friends, teachers, and mentors we've made at Dover-Sherborn, because Dover-Sherborn will always be our home. And now let me leave you with this quote from the song For Good. So let me say this before we part. So much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now, whatever way our stories end, I know you'll have rewritten mine by being my friend. Class of 2014, I'll miss you next year. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Abby. We will now have a selection by the Dover-Sherborn a cappella.
One, two, three, four. Dum 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 dum
Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy. sneaking up on writing something nasty on that wall. You nasty boy. Teacher sends you to the principal's office down the hall. We grow up and learn that kind of thing ain't right. But while we were doing it, it shook that outside. I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? I wish those days could come back once more. Why did those days ever have to go? 'Cause I love them so. Da-doo-da-doo-da-doo, da-doo-da-doo-doo-doo. Da-doo-da-doo-da-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ow! Da-doo-da-doo-da-doo, da-doo-da-doo-doo-doo. Da-doo-da-doo-da-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
At this time, I would ask Alice Mackay to please come forward to present the declamation speech.
Sani Banani, Khoyadah, Kunjani, and good day. My name is Alice, and if that greeting confused you, here is a fact that may explain why. 2.5 years ago, my family moved from South Africa to America. South Africa has 11 official languages, and I just represented 4 of them from the Zulu, the Dutch, the Xhosa, and the English. I grew up in a city very different from Sherborn, Johannesburg. For those who have not yet been there, let me set the scene. Every house has high walls around it, as South Africa has one of the highest crime rates, and it protects us from both petty and violent crimes. So rather than enjoying people's gardens, we enjoy the beautifully gardened sidewalks. Even in our winter, your summer, the skies are blue and the strong sun warms your skin. At its coldest, temperatures range from 32 to 60 degrees. And it only snows maybe once every 10 years. On Sundays, we went into town where rows of handmade items like beadwork, hand-carved animals, and even lion spears are for sale, while the smells of spice stands and burning barbecue would waft all around. Did I ride to school on an elephant? Did I have a pet lion? Contrary to popular belief, the answer is no. But just a 4-hour northeast of our home lay a sanctuary of African wildlife, hundreds of miles of protective reserve, the Kruger Park. My family would drive to the park 3 or 4 times a year, and some of my best memories were made there. Every morning we would wake up, jump in our car, sunroof and windows open, gazing at the beautiful dry landscape with its thorny acacia trees. We would look high in the trees for leopards and mistake every little brown rock for a lion. We would encounter elephants at least twice a day and hope every time that they weren't in the mood for a stampede. But there is nothing like being on a Kruger walk. The park has strict rules that visitors can only take guided walks with a game ranger. Here you see glimpses of the smaller animals, the green and black mambas, or the wide variety of eagles and hawks. One morning, we came across something a lot bigger. Imagine the terror I felt when the game ranger turned to us, frantically waving 3 fingers in front of his face. 10 tiny, insignificant humans, all froze in single file. What was he signaling? A lion, a leopard? When I felt the ground tremble, I didn't have to look to know that aimed right in our direction was a huge, threatening horn. My heart jumped. I wanted to turn and flee as fast as my panic could take me. You see, rhinoceros are one of the most dangerous African animals. Because of its poor vision, it will stampede at any unfamiliar noise and could impale a human in one shove. But I forced myself to remember the ranger's warning. When faced with apparent danger, do not run. So I somehow overcame my instinct and froze. The ranger threw a stone to his left, making a noise, and the distracted rhino, this massive force, thundered off into the woodland. Amazed, I finally exhaled. Standing our ground had saved us. Moving to America was not an easy process, one that filled me with great trepidation. I certainly did not have much of a say in whether we moved or not, and although I knew of the great opportunities I would have in America, I was leaving behind my 7 cousins who were like my siblings, my friends, my family, everything I knew. I didn't want to go. But after months of tears and goodbyes, I stepped onto the airplane, once again facing a situation from which I could not run. Though I had visited America a few times on vacation, once I arrived for good, I flinched. I braced myself every time we turned a corner because we were driving on the wrong side of the road and we were going to hit incoming traffic. We got lost constantly. Most mornings, I was now running after a yellow bus because I was used to my parents driving me to school. I never turned in an assignment online, and I had no clue what SAT stood for. Seriously though, what does it stand for? Speaking of school, adapting socially was tricky because I had formed my own image of American life based on movies like Mean Girls and High School Musical. I expected Regina George and Glenn Coco to be ruling the school, Troy to sing me a love song, or at least the Cheerios to give me a good dance number. What I got was completely different. I arrived in the middle of sophomore year when my classmates were well into their social calendar of school dances and parties. But I didn't want to be that shy, sad girl that sat in the corner and everyone pitied. And I wasn't. With the help of an amazing school, welcoming teachers, awesome students, I very quickly found a home here at Dover-Sherborn. Now it's time for all of you to feel what I did. Though we all have an idea of what college will be like, it's time for us to be the new kids as we head off on our futures. The unknown we all now face. And because I feel like I'm something of an expert at adapting to the new, I thought I'd share my quick and easy 4-step guide to making a successful transition. Step 1, find your quirk and use it. For me, this was my accent. I actually didn't know it would be a hit at first. I would ask a simple question and I would see the person form a complete blank face as they try to figure out where my accent was from, not having heard one word I'd asked them. Soon it became a fun way to start conversations. Some classes I would sit with everyone saying tomato and banana 100 times. My little sayings like, oh my word, oh flip, and shame are now things our whole grade says. For example, I'd be walking with my friends and if someone got hurt, I'd say shame. And suddenly, simultaneously, from all over, I'd hear shame. So how it helped? Well, after a few weeks, I would ask someone the time or help on a question, and we were getting to know each other's life stories. My accent became my best friend, and I have to try not to lose it, just as my friends have to try not to become British in every conversation with me. But it doesn't need to be as major as an accent. Are you obsessed with cool, bright shoes with bears on them? Do you have pink hair tips? Do you have the cutest, funniest sneeze ever? Or love wearing sweatpants and hoodies every day? Can you sing like a chipmunk, Healy like a pro? Or do you have some super good ninja dance moves? Use that. Showing the true you will make you stand out from everyone else, or at least help start a conversation. So step 2, make an effort to meet people no matter where you are. If you're at a party alone, don't worry. My advice, find the snack table and start talking about the snacks, the weather. Mastering the art of small talk is more important than you know. There are always people equally uncomfortable and alone, waiting for someone to say hi or ask them their major, or their favorite flavor of Ben and Jerry's. Mine's fish food. Don't talk about you, ask about them. Don't forget that more than anything, people love to talk about themselves. They just needed someone to start the conversation. Step 3, remember people's names. This is particularly important in the art of greeting. There are 4 levels of greeting. The first 2 involve no words, the no greeting, which is the worst and really doesn't count. When someone walks by, must notice you, are moving but chooses not to acknowledge you, or a distant nonverbal greeting, limited eye contact, the slight head nod. Then there are the verbal greetings, the no-name verbal greetings like hey or hey Africa, an improvement over the nonverbal greetings. And then the ultimate goal, a greeting with a name. For me, there is nothing better when someone shouts, "Hey Alice from Africa who likes fish food, how's life?" Step 4, have the right mindset. No matter where you are, or who you are, or how hard it may feel, you have to find that thing or that person that makes you happy. What really got me through the hardest first 6 months was one single decision I made when I moved, that I was going to love it here. I decided I was going to be happy and I would not go back on it. There were some days where I didn't think I could take the snow or the cold, the unfamiliarity, the academic challenges, grabbing a blanket and plopping myself in front of Netflix, and of course with a nice cup of tea, seemed like the only way to get through. I could have wallowed like that every day, but the new girl thing doesn't last all year. I would force myself to get out there, arrive at events, even if I was alone and didn't feel like going. I would walk up to people and say hi. I made myself do this because I know that happiness isn't something that falls into your laps. I had to find it. After a few months of using my 4-step guide in the face of the rhino that my moving to America seemed to be, my initial urge to turn and run faded. I wasn't just the girl with the quaint accent. I had friends and a new home. And I realized how lucky I was that my parents chose Dover-Sherborn for my final 2 years of high school. What other school smells like a coffee shop every morning? And has teachers that are not only our mentors, but our friends. From tea parties with Miss Barrett, or the maths department's crazy Halloween costumes, to the teachers who took the stage and sang their hearts out in Oliver. Beyond that, we always knew that if we were having a rough week, every single teacher wouldn't even flinch to let us have an extension on an assignment. The teachers wanted the best for us. What other senior class would never give up trying to get every person dancing on the tables at De-Stress DS, which, might I add, is the most welcoming, best day of the year. Please say universities have donuts to de-stress us. We were the ones who went all out every time. Our prom venue was incredible. The room had high windows that made us feel like we were on top of the world looking out at Boston. And we danced all night. It was the best prom I'd been to so far. And I'm sure you've all heard about this week. Well, I'm not sure if you know that on the boat cruise, after dancing all night, when the last song came, everyone formed a circle and linked arms, tears and all. Because no matter what, we are all one. And there was never a day when we didn't stick together, support each other, and have fun. What other senior class is like that? Looking back 2.5 years ago, I would never expect to be where I am today, standing here as your graduation speaker. Yes, I truly am a member of this incredible Dover-Sherborn family. I never thought I could love another place like I loved South Africa. I love the sense of patriotism and pride Americans have in their country. I love the freedom you stand for. I'm learning to cope with the long winter nights, and I've learned to ski through the snow. I can recognize foxes and bluebirds, coyotes and deer, and I'm hoping to never have to face a brown bear. So as we head off to our new future, we are all going to face our own rhinos. It is both exciting and terrifying. Who knows what we're going to walk ourselves into in our future? We have to decide that we are going to have fun, be happy, and succeed. We are the Dover-Sherborn class of 2014, and no matter where we are for the next 4 years, we carry that legacy with us, and we will be remembered. So bring on the rhinos. We will stand firm. For all the parents staying here at DS, Salagachle, stay well. And for the class of 2014, Hambagachle, go well.
Thank you, Alice. It is now my honor and pleasure to present the Lonergan Award. This award has been established in honor of Denise Lonergan for her 33 years of service to the Dover-Sherborn High School community, with the last 13 years as the headmaster of this outstanding high school. This award will be presented annually to members of the senior class, one boy and one girl, active in the school community, in good academic standing, and possessing the following qualities: altruism, character, diligence, integrity, and loyalty. I would like to ask the following two recipients to come forward to receive this high honor: Jake Andrew Highline and Alice Claire Mackay. We will now have a selection by the Dover-Sherborn Vocal Ensemble.
Okay, so this is something we've been working on for quite a long time. We were given the task by our director this year, Ida Pappas, to arrange a song. And it ended up being a lot more than just arranging a song. We arranged a whole bunch of songs together, and we ended up with something that we're calling, sorry, wow. We're not,
Can't keep on waiting.
Can't keep on waiting. It's been a while since I thought that. Okay, here we go.
Me and all my friends were all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing, and there's no way we ever could. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who lead it. We just feel like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it, so we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair, so we keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. People get ready, there's a train a-coming. Don't need no baggage, just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord.
We keep waiting,
People get ready,
waiting on the world to change. So we keep waiting,
People get ready,
waiting on the world to change. So we keep waiting,
People get ready,
waiting on the world to change. So we keep waiting,
People get ready,
waiting on the world to change.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is a wind that blows from the north and south and east.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
So we keep waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. So we're still waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. One day our generation is gonna rule the population. We can't keep waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change. Are we gonna keep waiting?
People get ready.
Waiting on the world to change.
People get ready.
Now we're changing,
People get
changing,
ready.
changing the world today.
People get ready.
So people get ready for the world to change.
Good evening, parents, guardians, family members, elected officials, faculty, staff, school administration, students, and most importantly, members of the graduating class of 2014. The last stage of your celebratory week is upon us. Your pre-K to grade 12 educational experience is coming to a close. Tonight, we take a moment to reflect upon the hours upon hours of studying, practicing, performing, and collaborating as a school community to celebrate all of your accomplishments. Speaking of collaboration, this wonderful evening would not be possible without all the efforts of our staff during this time of year. I would like to thank a few people who have worked so hard to make this commencement possible. First, I would like to thank my administrative assistant, Mary Lasivita. In Mary's first year in the main office, she has taken on so many challenges with a sense of resolve and a great sense of humor. During the graduation season, which for Mary starts in January, Mary has shown great attention to detail. She was always thinking ahead and wanted to make your evening special. Thank you, Mary. I would also like to thank Kelly Sullivan-Manise for her dedication to the students of the class of 2014. She has worked tirelessly throughout this year with your class officers to create a wonderful senior week. Thank you, Kelly. I would also like to thank Elliot Lucille, Dean Bogan, Joe Grusick, Chris Hendricks, Dave Pizzillo, and all the members of the facilities and grounds teams for all of their efforts in setting up tonight's commencement. It is quite a task, so thank you. Finally, I would like to acknowledge the outstanding faculty and staff that we have here at Dover-Sherborn High School. There is a winning formula in this community with highly intelligent and motivated students, incredibly supportive and wonderful parents and guardians, along with accomplished and dedicated teachers. This formula provides our students with an educational experience that is second to none. To the class of 2014, I want to take a moment to have you think about that first day of your freshman year. Some of you were probably calm and collective, while others were incredibly nervous. You are about to embark on a 4-year journey of new experiences and create memories to last a lifetime. As sophomore year rolled in, you felt comfortable being a Raider and began to understand the DS way. Junior year came with the SATs, the ACTs, some AP exams, letters of recommendation, college visits, and that looming college essay. The beginning of your senior year brought out more college visits, more SATs and ACTs, a flurry of essays, many November 1 deadlines, some more APs, and yes, those signatures for your community service requirement. The second half of the school year brought the final push for your courses, many college acceptance letters, and unfortunately some denials as well. Some of you took on the challenge of senior project, and yes, some of you developed that seasonal disorder known as senioritis. In the end, however, you all made it through. You celebrated at the top of the stateroom, you danced on the top deck of the Provincetown 2 through Boston Harbor, and you enjoyed a community gathering at the Dover Church. What struck me about the class of 2014 is that despite your different passions and your varied interests, you truly became one unit at the end. Never was that as obvious as when you all formed that large circle with arms around one another and swayed back and forth to a song of farewell. Class of 2014, all along you've been provided with the support from home and school. You have been told to always do your best in order to be successful. Sometimes that success came in the form of grades or successful athletic competitions, outstanding plays, musicals, concerts, or extracurricular competitions. As you move forward, some of your successes will continue to come in these aforementioned forms. However, true success will be determined by you and your standards. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other." Certainly your future successes will be applauded by your parents, your family, your teachers, and your coaches. However, it is your vision of success that is most valuable. Seek out opportunities and experiences that will make you happy and content. Create your own story. Class of 2014, I wish you great health and much happiness. Congratulations. It is now my distinct pleasure to welcome Mr. Stephen Bliss, Superintendent of the Dover-Sherborn Public Schools, who will present the acceptance of the class of 2014. Mr. Bliss.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. And before I begin my formal remarks, I'd like to take a moment to recognize Mr. Smith for just an incredible job he's done this first year in his principalship and headmastership of Dover-Sherborn Regional High School. Good evening, school committee members, colleague administrators, including Dr. Karen Leduc, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. John Smith, Dover-Sherborn High School Headmaster, Ms. Ellen Shagnon, Guidance Director, Mr. Jerry Schimmel, Director of Special Education, Mr. Heath Rollins, Athletic Director, faculty and staff, Mr. James Dawley, Chair, the Dover Board of Selectmen, Mr. Peter Caruso, Chair, Sherborn Board of Selectmen, members of the class of 2014, parents, guardians, grandparents, siblings, and media. It is a pleasure to welcome you to campus this evening for these commencement exercises of Dover-Sherborn Regional High School. The spring season evokes a sense of renewal, enthusiasm, excitement, and energy, and this myriad of emotion is undoubtedly felt by every member of this graduating class. I would submit, however, that this season of change also produces emotions, including anxiety and uneasiness. This array of emotion, characterized by both exhilaration and trepidation, is likely a common denominator shared by all 146 of you this evening. Please know that inasmuch as you try to reconcile these emotions, the adults in your life, including parents, guardians, grandparents, family members, siblings, teachers, and administrators, all struggle during this time. We walked this 12-year journey with you, and while we're elated and proud to see you graduate and to begin the next chapter of your young adult life, be it through post-secondary studies, the military, or workforce, it is quite emotional for all of us to let you go, but let you go we must. As you embark on the next chapter of your life journey, be cognizant of not only what a high school diploma signifies, but also what a Dover-Sherborn diploma signifies. On one level, a diploma from any high school in the Commonwealth confirms your mastery of a common core of knowledge spanning a liberal arts program of studies. A diploma also attests to one's having mastered state standard proficiencies in English, mathematics, and the sciences. The diploma conferred to each of you this evening conveys much more than subject matter mastery or proficiency. For a Dover-Sherborn diploma transcends the academic arena. When your diploma is certified and conferred moments from now, you join the ranks of Dover-Sherborn alumni, and in so doing, confirm your lifelong association with what we affectionately refer to as our DS family. This term has a profound denotation, at the core of which reside compassion, generosity, decency, humility, and wisdom. As DS graduates, you are called upon and expected to embody these traits. Having had the privilege and honor of working with and getting to know you during this time, my first year as superintendent, I am confident that each of you stands empowered, enabled, and equipped to accept this challenge. Moreover, I am hopeful that you will reflect on the many blessings bestowed upon you and be forever mindful to give back and to work tirelessly for the betterment of our society. I offer that one person who embodied these traits and worked to not only understand, but to also improve the human condition was Maya Angelou, who of course passed from this earth last week. The world lost a treasure in her passing, and yet what we learned from her and from her message of hopefulness is immeasurable. Dr. Angelo's poem offered at the swearing in of then President Clinton in 1993, and its reverberating message of hope comes to mind. Do not be wedded forever to fear yoked eternally, to brutishness. The horizon leans forward, offering you space to place new steps of change. Here, on the pulse of this fine day, you may have the courage to look upon me, the rock, the river, the tree, your country. No less to Midas than to Mendicant, no less to you now than to Mastodon then. Here, on the pulse of this new day, you may have the grace to look up and out, and into your sister's eyes, and into your brother's face, your country, and say simply, very simply, with hope, good morning. I need not remind you that this is likely the last time that you will assemble as the class of 2014 in its entirety. It is true that you may come back to visit a teacher or to attend a school event, and it is also true that class reunions are a means of attempting to gather members of a graduating class. But the stark fact remains that your moments together as the class of 2014 are fleeting. As you've most likely discovered in your early years as young adults, time races on and a world of rich and plentiful opportunities awaits you. This evening's sunset brings your 12-year journey to a close. In the words of Orrin Hatch, however, there is a good reason they call these ceremonies commencement exercises. Graduation is not the end, it's the beginning. In the spirit of those words and through Maya Angelou's endearing message of hopefulness, let the splendor of tomorrow's sunrise mark a new beginning for each of you. May you grow to appreciate and put to good use the awesome gift of education, and may you be richly blessed with peace and happiness all the days of your life. Congratulations.
Class of 2014, the moment you have all been waiting for. I would now ask Regional School Committee member Ms. Lauren Balk and Superintendent of Schools Mr. Stephen Bliss to now come forward to present the diplomas to the class of 2014. First row. Abigail Marie Raftery. Daniel Edward Lee Wood. Amelia Luisa Fattori. Jonathan Taylor Lothrop. Evan Charles Lee Wood. Jake Ryan Frankenfield. Jonathan Rappo. Colin Patrick Randall. Alice Claire Mackay. Alexander Xavier Adamczyk. Michael Ree An. Nicholas Von Alva. Rebecca Faith Andrews. Olivia Von Ashley. Timothy John Balk. Daniel Bradley Barry. Sarah Rose Bartholomew. Miriam Elizabeth Boba. John Thomas Boland. William Charles Jerome Bowser. Rogers William Boylan. Katrina Corson Brace. Timothy Dunlop Briggs. Emma Farrar Brown. Robert Lindsay Brown. Peter Ralph Burton. Greer Sonnen Campbell. Daniel Patrick Carroll. Molly Catherine Kavanaugh. Darius Trevor Chen. Simone Zhuang Chen. Trevor Lamb Chistolini. Corey Joseph Colangelo. Kayla Marie Condon. Reese Elizabeth Conklin. Jonathan Douglas Coots. Brett Peter Hutchins Crocker. Hannah Brooke Crowley. Frank Forrest Davidson V. Jessica Lynn Davis. Ashley Elizabeth DeLuca. Eli Ross Dershowitz. Sally Doreen Dershowitz. Spencer Thomas Dimmick. Dennis Michael Donahue. Connor Ryan Donovan. Danielle Jean Duffett. James Maxwell Dunn. Taylor Alexander Finn. Brian Thomas Fiore. Samuel Bailey Ford. Sarah Frances Forward. Rebecca Jane Freeman. Charles Bain Friesen. Emilio Joseph Fotopoulos. Samuel Everett Gabransky. Wesley John Gallant. Peyton Elizabeth Garson. Hernan Geloff Romer. Peter Grant Gelsthorpe. Catherine Mary Jeremiah. Laura Danielle Gillespie. Anton Anthony Gomes, Jr. Kimberly Gonsalves. William Blake Gooch. Jacqueline Priscilla Goudreau. Jason Nathaniel Gould. Caitlin Marie Hagan. Max Aaron Handler. Emily Elizabeth Hands. Jake Andrew Highline. Reagan Olivia Rose Holmes. Eileen Cecilia Howard. Griffin Woodworth Howes. Casey Lynn Hemme. Madeline May Hemme. Zoe Beth Hutcher. Chase Rideout Hyde. Thomas William Hines. Timothy Shunji Young. Kristen Amy Jolene. Eliza Suzanne Kaplan. Amanda Carmel Kiami. Ian Wadsworth Kuhn. Paul Jacob Crucell. Devin Ayers Laidman. Sky Leland. Gregory James Lytle. John William Lytle. Thomas Roy Littlejohn. Olivia Lee Louie. Ian Albert McDonald. Alexandra Egan Mahoney. Sophia Christina Manusian. Kate Ann Masterson. Philip Daniel McCallion. Molly Grace McCormick. Catherine Emily McPherson. Brian Joseph McVeigh. Noah Stone Meltzer. Christopher Wilkins Minor. Olivia Walcott Minervino. Moira Elizabeth Mitchell. Maeve Evangeline Morse. Clark Philip Bruce Murphy. Jessica Sophie Narr. Grant Benjamin Newman. Elizabeth Holly Ogilvy. Eric James Patriquin. Julia Tyne Pearson. Aaron Joseph Perry. Shelby Catherine Phelan. John Patrick Polk. Julia Sarah Prescott. Andrew Thomas Salakis. Justine Mary Regan. John Patrick Riedel Jr. Shelby Ariel Littman Robin. Asia Danae Robinson. Shannon Ann Rush. Kyle Matthew Serafian. Joseph Thomas Swan. Emily Mae Scanlon. Albert James Sebastian. Caitlin Rose Sheehan. Rebecca Ashley Schulman. Paul Bethel Siri. Emily Jane Spence. Mallory Everett Stewart. Andrew Vieira Stone. Sarah Elizabeth Tanner. Peter Paul Tarkoy. Matthew Snow Toscani. Harrison John Thomas. Brian Anthony Tosi. Selena Julia Tronza. John Joseph Turo. Anne Elizabeth Van Duzer. Connor Crosby Walsh. Addison John Ward. Olivia Catherine Wayne. Lauren Jean White. Joshua Greg Guin Whitehouse. Bryce Mason Williamson. Matthew Wolf. Wesley Yitao Yang. Brian Liwang Zhu. I would once again like to ask your senior class president, Abigail Marie Raftery, to come forward for the final graduation pronouncement.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the graduated class of 2014. Members of the class of 2014, please move your tassels from the right to the left.